Hello, everyone. Greetings to my spiritual seekers, my star seeds. Um, be welcome to this new channeling of the new shift or about the new shift. This time, Sirius is talking. It was a very profound channeling, and I will be honest with you, I kind of feel a bit overwhelmed. I have troubles wrapping this up for you. It is very profound, it is very complex. In when you listen to this, when you look at the video, there will be something that will be outstanding for you. It will be standing out for you. And you will be feeling this message is what I will take away from this mostly. And that's probably the right message for you. So I don't want to shift you in any direction. They are talking about the great shift. Why is the shift not happening in one direction, and why are we not yet there? This is the question, basically. And I think this is what I understand, that the great shift is something that is now propelled further. It's going to happen quicker by drawing back a bit from the higher direction, because it's going too slow. And having this open controversy, having this conflict between, let's say, good and bad or dark and white. And by being so heavily in contrast, humans can easily decide which side do they take, which is more to your liking, which one is better for everyone, right? And of course, there's this third solution they're talking about, so the middle way, the balanced way. And they use the quarrel, the argument, as something good. It is a basic example of finding or struggling to find the balance in everything in life and in the progression of this earth, in the progression of this multiverse, basically. So I will let you watch it, and please take from it whatever you feel. And I will say one thing afterwards I think is very important for everyday life that you can take with you in the relationship with your family, for example. Okay, have fun. There is a shift coming in the relationship between people on Earth, beings on Earth, even animals and plant beings on Earth. There is a shift coming that is not only concerning you, but also Gaia herself. Of course, when we say there is a shift coming, you will say, hasn't the shift arrived already? And we will answer, there is always shifting, but this is a very profound shift. What you're experiencing right now, and what will you experience continuously for some time, is the controversion, the contradiction, the quarreling of those energies, the ones of the present state that want to go down into one direction that is very profitable for some, and the drawing of the universe, the one direction that is going upward, that is wanting to lift the spiral in the upward direction. And we will not say
that this is how it should be. This is how it should be done. But it's what is most profitable for you. What is most profitable for Gaia. And what is the natural order of things in communication with each other. Quarreling is going back and forth, and in itself is not a bad thing, we will say. It is the finding of the balance, it is the process of the continuum. Naturally, there is going to be back and forth. Naturally, there is going to be feeling into one direction and feeling into the other direction, and by doing so, feeling into one vibrational energy and feeling into another one. And what humans tend to think is, what does feel better for me? Right now, what is better for me? And the quick solution that is good for one being is in that moment most often only profitable for a small group or one being, and to a disadvantage of the whole group, which in effect means also the one being that wants it right now so much, the one being or the group of beings, the selected few that can actually make the decision happen. But when you practice this in your close relations, in your close families, in your friendships, in the relationship with your child, when you are the one testing out the directions and the other party is dependent on you, having an opinion, of course, having a mind of their own, having felt into both vibrational energies as well, and are not of your opinion. The other party has a different agenda. What will you do? Will you be able to arrive at the compromise? Will you be able to find the third solution that is most profitable for everyone involved? Will you be able to neglect your own selfish need in that moment of being right, of being able to assert dominancy? Will you be able to be generous? Will you be able to be loving and kind? Will you be able to look ahead without selfish need? Will you be able to find the higher perspective? Will you be able to perform a role model? Will you be able to shine? That is the question. So until you haven't mastered this in your daily lives mostly, you will be invited to the play that is being rolled out in front of you on your political stages, to watch and learn, to watch and form your opinion, to watch and be affected, to watch and be involved, to suddenly find yourself on the stage as not a bystander and not even a minor role, but part of the play, without having been consulted whether you wanted to go on stage or not. Because you see, when you sit in a theater, in a cinema, you're part of the play. Even if you do not find yourself on screen or on stage, but you are the recipient party. There is no art until someone watches it. There is no play until someone is in the midst of it. So we wish to invite you to have a more active role and to decide who you want to be. Don't be dependent. Don't make anyone dependent of you. Because you see, you are already dependent in a wonderful way. Because you are already connected into the web of creation. You cannot escape. You don't want to escape. But we wish to let you know that you are held within great love. You are being guided through what is unfolding. So trust the process, we say. Trust what is unfolding. Watch, learn, and correct your ways. Greetings. We've been talking from Sirius.
Welcome back. So as you see, it was a very profound channeling. Nevertheless, I love that they always choose examples everyone can understand. It's very easy in the language, and I love it because it's like childlike explanation. Everyone can follow along. But the devil lies in the detail, I feel. It is very complex if you really think about it, if you follow the transcript and deeply think about what do they actually say. And when I channeled the energy, it was very profound this time, really, because I felt, and it's not something that usually happens, I felt spirit enter my whole body from the left side of my face. My hearing went completely blank. And I felt like I was in a small container and there was a huge space around me and it vibrated back in some way. So it was really profound. I could actually feel being merged. And what they showed me is that the quarrel in itself, or the argument, the being in relationship with each other, that's the actual thing, what it's all about. So we have our political leaders. These are the main actors on our stage often because we look up, our everyday life. Sometimes we feel nothing much happens, but when we open a newspaper and when we read what the big guys decided again, what's happening with war, for example, then we kind of look up and say, okay, life is good or bad, depending upon what's in the newspapers right now. But what actually makes life good or bad is your relationship with your child, with your partner, with your neighbor. And these relationships have a certain dynamic. So very rarely it's equally balanced. Most of the time, one is dependent upon the other in some effect or to some degree. And this can happen multiple times a day. You're in a power position, you know something the other one doesn't. Like when someone simply asks for the way, they are foreign in the city, you know the way around, so you're in a power position. You're the boss at work. You are the parent to a child. You can decide everything for them. You're the teacher for the class. If someone wants to use the toilet, they're gonna ask you. Or if you're just, taking care of an elderly person who can't do without you anymore. So in many, many instances, we have the power to do something. We have someone that is dependent upon us. And it is these relationships in which we are asked by Spirit to step forward, to get into the higher perspective and to not decide what's good for us. So what makes my life easier right now? What is my advantage here? What do I like right now? And this can be little things like sending your child off to bed simply because you are tired. But knowing deep down, okay, they will actually finish talking about their day. They might have some worries on their mind. They will probably not have a good night. Or they will not go to bed light-hearted, or very, very some. And you could actually do something. Or when you leave the elderly person and knowing that they actually need something more from you. And it's not to say that you're always to take the high road and, leave yourself in the lurk or move yourself to the point of a disadvantage. That's not what they meant. It's simply be mindful of your power position and do not exert dominance simply because whatever. But see it as a privilege. And you have the power now to move this on a higher level for everyone, for the planet. And please remember that when we hurt the other party, we also hurt ourselves, right? In so many ways. If someone is unhappy and lucky, if someone has a disadvantage, and you have an advantage due to that, you're hurting yourself. That's a vibration you create. That's a dependency you create. That's muggy. And in the end, it will not make you happy. And I'm not going to say that any one of you is doing that, but we are in so many ways simply human, and we follow this direction of our ego. And we do what we do, right? So let's please be mindful with this. This is what I want to give to you. By being mindful of our own relationships, our personal relationships, and finding the third solution, the higher perspective. What's good for you? What's good for me? What's good for us in this? What's good for everyone, Give and take. By doing that, you are helping actively Earth going on a higher plane. You're spiraling the spiral, right? So you're moving on a highway and not slowing things down. So let's do it. Let's try to be the better version of ourselves. If you have another comment, if you hear something I don't, if you feel something is important I didn't mention, please mention it in the comments. I love to hear from you guys, and I'll see you next week.